Rise and shine, everyone. Time now 6:01. Jason and Alicia with you. A lot to cover this morning. Breaking news following a garage fire, as well as the deputy that was shot in Minnetonka.
Yeah, Michelle Beck is on the scene there. We'll get an update from her here in a minute. But first, let's get to meteorologist John Ziegler. It's going to be another nice day.
Yeah.
I'm so looking forward to it.
It is a great day. And even the worst day is a good day. So that's how you know you're in a great period. How about a little bit of light showing up here at 6 o'clock for the first time for you 6 o'clock viewers? By next week, there's going to be some sun out there. 47 degrees right now. Super comfortable. We have changed our winds out of the northwest. Temperatures, they're warm, especially south of St. Cloud. Little bit of a chill back behind this low, but the low is going to drive in some northwest winds today. Again, you see that shift. It's pretty obvious, and it will be breezy with those winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Also a little bit of light rain. Now, right now, the rain is staying down towards Mankato, south of Jordan, south of New Prague. So if you're traveling on 169, you'll run into rain. For the moment, looks like the cities are dry. That might not be the case later. We'll track out the rain threat in your forecast. Cece?
Good morning. For the past 15 minutes, I've been tracking this crash in Minneapolis on 94 right at the Dowling Avenue exit. It seems like we're coming to the end of the cleanup situation. Just a few minutes ago, a tow truck got on scene for this car here, and authorities were on scene pretty heavily a few minutes ago, but they have left as well. So just getting that car off of the shoulder here. But if you need to take that Dowling Avenue exit, you can do that. Just make sure again that you know that there's a situation on your right. Alicia.
Cece, thank you. In case you are just joining us here on Sunrise, we are following breaking news out of Fridley this morning.
If you live near 48th Avenue and 2nd Street Northeast, you'll see a lot of flashing lights outside of your window right now. We're live there right now, and here's why. In the last 30 minutes, we've confirmed crews put out a garage fire. Our photographer talked with a man who lives at the home of the garage with his parents and their dog, and he told us, thankfully, everyone is okay this morning. So a lot of flashing lights there on scene. As of right now, it's unclear exactly what started that fire, but we will keep you updated.
A lot going on in a quiet neighborhood for sure. We do also need to update you on a developing story. You're looking at a live picture just outside of HCMC in Minneapolis. Right now, a Hennepin County Sheriff's deputy is inside the hospital recovering this morning, less than 24 hours after being shot.
This all happened during a shootout at a home near East Crestwood Drive and Mayview Terrace in Minnetonka. Another deputy was also injured, but treated on scene. So as this investigation unfolds, we're learning more about what happened out there and why deputies were at that home.
Michelle Beck is at the scene right now tracking this developing story. Michelle.
Yeah, Jason, Alicia, what's typically a quiet neighborhood here was taken over by gunshots and went under lockdown. Let me show you a close-up view at the home under question now. You can see the yellow crime scene tape. Still here, we got one Minnetonka police officer still on scene watching over this house. And if we zoom in, you can see the garage door is up. There's a vehicle in there. The lights are on as well. And so we know that this is a close-up view of the house that was under question. Well, 18 hours ago, this is what it looked like. Look at the massive multi-agency presence that came out of Hennepin County Sheriff's deputies serving a warrant. That's when one deputy was shot and another was hurt by gunfire. We know they are 8 and 21-year veterans of the force. Officials also say an armed suspect died. At this time, they have not named the gunman or detailed what exactly led up to the shooting, but this hits so close to home for law enforcement. You can hear that as the sheriff yesterday got emotional and personal.
We know that there's a risk that we may not make it home to our families. And I don't say that very lightly because I will tell you, I tell my family, I promise my family, I will come home to them every day. It's not a promise that should be broken by any of our first responders. Yet the heroes in law enforcement, they still answer the call, they still show up. A thankless job a lot of times.
Yeah, really powerful words from the sheriff you just heard there. Well, officials do say that both deputies are expected to be okay, though it was certainly a very scary situation for so many people in the area. We'll hear from those neighbors coming up the next 30 minutes. Guys.
Yeah, a very scary situation. Michelle Beck reporting live for us. Thank you. Other law enforcement agencies and state leaders sharing their well wishes, thoughts, and prayers online for the deputies who were shot. Governor Walz writing, "Thank you for your courage." This incident comes on the heels of several recent assaults on law enforcement here in Minnesota. Of course, that includes the tragedy in Burnsville, where 3 first responders were killed during a standoff.
The frequency that we are seeing where police officers are shot at and hit killed is happening at a rate that we haven't seen before.
The BCA says while most categories of violent crime are down from pre-pandemic highs, assaults on officers are actually up. In 2019, there were about 400 violent assaults on Minnesota police officers. In 2023, that figure rose to more than 900. This story, of course, still developing. We're going to be sharing updates as we learn more about the deputies, the suspect, and what led up to that shootout. Make sure you stick with us on air and on our KARE 11 website and social media pages.
Now to another big story that we're following. Verdict watch is underway in the Apple River stabbing trial. In just a matter of hours, the jury will enter its second day of deliberations. During closing arguments, the prosecution told the jury the stabbings that killed 17-year-old Isaac Schumann and wounded 4 others was not self-defense. They said the defendant, Nikolai Mew, could have walked away from the confrontation, but did not. The defense painted a different picture. They say the group of 6 teens provoked Mew, and when a second group of 7 joined them, the 52-year-old thought his life was in danger.
Nikolai knew this was not self-defense. All of his actions, from the minute the stabbings are done.
If you believe it's self-defense, he's not guilty. If you believe it's probably self-defense, he's not guilty.
The jury has requested to see video showing the moment leading up to the confrontation. Besides first-degree intentional homicide, the jury can also consider second-degree homicide and a reckless homicide.
Time now 6:07. In just a few hours, the Minneapolis City Council is set to take up 2 potential changes to the city's new rideshare ordinance. One would put the pay for drivers closer to what a state-backed study recommends. Both would push the start date for the ordinance to July 1st. Council members who propose the ideas say it gives new companies time to move in if Uber and Lyft do happen to leave. But many who rely on rideshare say they hope the extra time will help the city reach a compromise with the 2 companies.
To provide more time to get this done correctly that is fair to both passengers and drivers.
Now is not the time, as we're still in recovery mode as a tourism and hospitality destination, to limit amenities and resources or price them out of use.
If a delay is approved, Uber says it'll stick around until July 1st.
Minnesota is getting $15 million to help remove forever chemicals out of our drinking water. It's part of the first ever federal push to limit PFAS in water. The new standard will require water utilities to filter out 5 chemicals currently found in half the drinking water in the United States. The CDC says PFAS are found in the bloodstreams of 97% of Americans. They've been linked to a number of health issues, including cancer, heart disease, and reproductive problems.
The Packers are set to make NFL history this upcoming season. In the last 24 hours, the team announced they're heading to Brazil for the league's first ever game in South America. Sunrise in South America? Sunrise in Brazil? Let's do it.
Sign me up.
The Packers will face the Eagles for a Friday night game kicking off the regular season on September 6th. The game will be played in Sao Paulo at the Corinthians Arena, home of the Brazilian Soccer Club. That arena was used for the 2014 World Cup and the 2016 Olympics. Now, this is the first time since 1970 the NFL will play a game on Friday night in Week 1.